What's good, everybody? Welcome to the I-80 football show. For the first time in a long time, and for the first time on our own, we have been kicked off by the powers that be, but they couldn't stop the show. They couldn't stop the grind. We've been doing this for almost 4 years. We wasn't going to stop because they wanted us to turn into an Ohio State show.
Yeah.
As always, I'm your host, Jordan. I'm here with my co-host, Dante. How you living?
I'm doing pretty good today, man. I'm doing really good. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
We love to see that. How was your birthday?
Birthday was chill. Birthday didn't do much, but I did end up going to the bar with Brandon for a little bit. But yeah, it was a chill birthday.
That's smooth. Can't beat that. And you did something at least.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Had to move, but it is
that's
what it
awful.
is.
Moving is the absolute worst.
It is, but I like how I have my setup now. Still got way too many monitors, but it is.
What do you want, like 5 now?
I'm on 4. I'm on 4.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
how you doing?
We're back. I'm all right, honestly. Zaria's birthday is coming up.
Right.
So, the in-laws are coming in town tomorrow, and which is why we're recording early. The in-laws are coming in town. We got a couple of things going on. We're going to a Yankees game. Dinner,
nice.
That sort of stuff. So, but it's just like these 3 months are just a sprint. Like, I feel like I never know what's going on in my life, because it's my birthday, our anniversary, and her birthday. So I'm definitely like ready to get through that because that's sort of exhausting. But it's gonna be fun. And then and we're going to the Beyonce concert for her birthday.
Oh Lord!
So it's gonna be a long.
Oh my goodness! But y'all still gonna have somewhere to live? Pick for Beyonce.
Barely.
Cash.
But when she comes the day after your birthday, like I figured. I mean, let's be honest. She was going anyway.
Oh yeah.
Now I may not have been going if it wasn't like for her birthday. I was back and forth because I've never seen Beyonce, and I told myself I was like I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan, but I actually did like this album. And for anyone listening to this, I'm not a Beyonce hater. I just don't put on Beyonce. And I feel like you got to say that because some people be trying to say she's not talented and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I was listening to Gucci. You know what I mean? Like I was listening.
I'm just not that big of a fan. She's talented, don't get me wrong, but just not that big of a fan.
Right. No beef.
No beef.
When Beyonce starts dropping trap music, she got me. I think she's a little too rich for that though. So I don't think she's gonna lock in to trap music. So but yeah, so I don't know if I was gonna go, especially with the price of the tickets. But if it wasn't for her birthday, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go because she's like a great performer, etc. And then I saw the price of the tickets, and she would have to go with her friend. But since it's her birthday, I'm going and praying that I can eat for the rest of the year.
I mean, because I don't think Beyonce is paying attention to her the price point of her demographic. Her fans are mostly poor. We all mostly poor, so I don't understand.
Yeah. And it's also a recession,
right?
And I'm gonna just keep saying that because they're not saying it, but it is a recession. And I think like my favorite thing to do right now is to just say recession indicator. Like, did you see that Five Guys has a meal now?
Yeah, I did see that.
Come on, that's a recession indicator. Five Guys ain't never had a meal. Five Guys ain't never had a meal. You know what I'm saying? Now you can get a burger, fry, and a drink. Come on. Recession indicator. Five Guys is down bad. They ain't never worried about our pockets before. Now you got deals going on.
That one was actually funny. That one was actually funny.
If I see Nike doing discounts,
it depends on the time of the year,
right? But like, I'm not talking about like outlet stuff. I'm talking about like Nike actual like discounts. You know, like Nike doesn't do discounts.
You're not wrong. It would be I'm going to go buy some shit.
Well, yeah. But I'm just like, man, we really in it.
We really in it.
Nike's giving discounts.
Into the thick of it.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm all right. It's gonna be a good week though. So,
Yeah, that's fine.
but for the listeners, we're recording this on Saturday. This is going to drop on Thursday. So anything that happens during the week, we're not going to talk about it.
We
So
not gonna
like,
get
if
it.
you're wondering
Yeah.
why we didn't get into X news, that's going because there's something going to drop on Wednesday. It's going to be big, and we normally record on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, something's going to be happening, but that's my wife's birthday, so I won't be here. Anyways, traffic update. Getting to the show. Did you see that Nico is about to get away with it?
Yep.
That's I. I was texting DJ, who is a Mavs fan. I said I would fire him immediately, just so he
Just off
doesn't
GP.
feel just because he should have been fired anyway. But one, just so he doesn't feel vindicated, and two, so he can't do the same thing in 5 years to Cooper. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I don't know how, but the Mavs traded Luka. It was this whole thing. All this crap happened, and then
They end
with a
up getting
1.8% chance, they land the number one draft pick in the NBA in the 2025 NBA draft for I hate putting years on this because I can never really remember, but outside of Wemby, he's easily the best draft prospect of like the last 5 to 7 years, and he's the best American draft prospect in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like as sure of a thing you can be with basketball. He's that. Um, Again, you can't really be a short thing in basketball, but he is the best prospect that's come
Yeah.
out in a while.
It's just
And
it's almost theory inducing. It's speculating as fuck because there's no way. There's
just
no way.
yeah, and then they're talking about one of the only other times it's happened is when LeBron left the Cavs.
Yeah.
Which I mean, there's been more than that. Like that's not the only. There's been like
No,
five.
LeBron going to the Cavs because the Cavs had a low chance of getting the number one pick. Ended up getting it, got Andrew Wiggins, and that was the perfect package to trade to get Kevin Love. They had a very low chance of getting that
Right,
number one pick.
but the Browns got the remember the Cavs got the number one pick multiple times. They got it the first year that they
and
they
it was a low percentage then too. Yep,
and was that
I saw
Anthony
a video.
Bennett?
No, Kyrie Irving.
Oh, he did go number one. I was gonna say Kyrie, but for some reason I forgot that he went like actual number one. But yeah, that's when they got Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then they got it like again, and they drafted Anthony Bennett.
There is that one. They also said, I don't know if you saw, but it was like if you trade to the Lakers, you get the number one pick the next year.
What else did it happen to the Pelicans, right?
Pelicans, and it happened. It happened to them twice somehow because they got the number. I think they got the number one. No, there's another team that got the number one pick because they traded to the Lakers. I can't think of what it is, but it's been Dallas and the Pelicans and a third team. I can't think of who it is. It's weird. It almost reminds me of when Patrick Ewing went to the Knicks. There was no way that was supposed to happen, and it did.
That's crazy. Like I say all the time, I don't really believe in all the sports conspiracies, but I do believe occasionally they press that button. You can't do it too often, but occasionally they press that button.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe that the Mavs are gonna get away with it. And like, shout out to that fan base. That's cool, right? And then the Dallas is about to get paid. Well, not about to, but they got Paige Beckers, and then they're about to get Cooper Flagg, the two great white hopes. Name two white American basketball players better than them in the last couple of years. Someone's gonna say Caitlin Clark, but please stop. You're gonna get the best white women's basketball player of the last 5 years. I'm gonna say 5 because like obviously they do.
I don't know.
And you go more than 5, you get into Stewie and some other people.
I was about to say Caitlin's good, like really good,
but she's not a better basketball player than Paige. And I'm not even saying it's like this huge gap. Like that wasn't meant to disrespect Caitlin, but like Paige is a better basketball player.
Okay.
And then Cooper Flagg. They're gonna be down there saying the N-word crazy.
Oh no,
Not
no,
to be clear, not Paige and Cooper. I'm talking
no,
about the Dallas millionaires,
no,
the SMU alums. I'm not talking about the players. They're gonna be down there
no.
going crazy.
That's
Yeah, Cooper just
crazy.
Cooper just dunked on that. Like, yeah, Dallas is gonna be lit for a minute.
No.
Speaking of basketball, we're back in the '90s somehow because maybe I don't even know if it's a '90s count, but the Knicks and the Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Isn't that weird?
That doesn't make any sense to me. New York is
But it,
going
honestly,
nuts.
it still would have been the '90s if Boston won.
Yeah. So it was the '90s. That is the right era. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That's
It
that's
would be
crazy.
that or '80s or something like that.
'80s, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like we're back in the Reggie Miller era, but no,
right.
it's fun. You realize that there's a good chance that we get in the Final Four is New York,
Mm-hmm.
Indiana,
Yep.
Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
and Oklahoma City.
It's a chance now.
And honestly, Denver still should fit that list, but because of Jokic and the fact that they won, you can't really put them in there no more, right? Like, but if you
Mm-hmm. But they're
come on, like
they're still young. This is all young.
yeah. But it's funny because like especially because the league had like there were so many talking heads talking about small market like New York is not a small market,
No,
they've
it's
just been
not.
bad forever, but the
Mm-hmm.
other teams, small market teams, and should the stars leave and all of this kind of stuff, and also it's sort of just like for a lot of them sort of like the long-term play kind of thing, and there's a lot of questions like the Thunder were doing the draft pick thing for a while and that paid off with SGA and Chet and a couple other people.
Yeah.
Minnesota, nobody knows. Like they kept getting close, and they lost Jimmy and all of that sort of stuff. And then they get Ant, who I think was the number one pick, or he went 2 or 3 or something like that. And then they
Something
trade
like that.
Cat and everybody. And like, come on, if you get Minnesota and the Knicks, and somehow that trade worked out for both of them, trading
Right?
Cat. To get Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle, and that trade worked out for both. Like basketball is in a weird place right now, and I don't
And
say
that
weird
happened what
bad, but
for both teams 2 years later.
yeah,
Because yeah, that trade happened 2 years ago. So yeah, that's
no, that was last year. This is
oh, that's
no,
nuts. I
yeah,
thought
this
that was
is
happened last.
no,
I
no,
thought
no.
that was
This
two
is
years.
this is Cat's first year on the Knicks.
Is it?
Is it not? Or did it happen mid-season last year? No, no, yeah, no, that happened in the off season.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah,
Because
no, that happened in the off season.
I thought this was the second year of it. See, this time be flying for me. So I don't
Yeah,
know. That's
October
actually
3rd,
crazy.
2024.
Oh wow, yeah, mid
Hold
season.
on,
Yeah, it
yeah,
did happen mid season. That's crazy.
yeah. So basketball's in a crazy place. The NFL released their schedule. If you care about that sort of thing, I'm sort of over the schedule release videos, but the Colts decided to try to make a joke about Tyreek Hill being arrested,
Insane.
and
That
then
team
and then
wildin'.
and then to make matters worse, they couldn't just offer him a straight up apology. They also had to apologize to Microsoft in the same tweet. Like, are you dead ass? Like, are
Yes,
you like be
very
for
much so.
real? Like, if people are offended, and they should be, about your video with Tyreek Hill being arrested, even if it is also true that you overdid some sort of contract with Microsoft. Nobody cares about Microsoft. That's not why people are mad at you. Why would you put them in the same tweet? And then they
Cause
put
money.
Microsoft first. They put Microsoft first. There's like, we deleted our video because we extended our thing with Microsoft and something with Tyreek Hill. And then they make another tweet and they're like, we want to officially apologize to Microsoft and Tyreek Hill. Come on, bro.
Money. What do you mean? It's the
Yeah,
money.
that's
Come
embarrassing.
on.
That is embarrassing. I'm so ready to be a Houston Texans fan, man. I'm tired of this. Like, I'm CJ, save me from this, bro. Like,
He
if I didn't
said,
have
"I'm
this
so
podcast, I'd have
ready."
just If I didn't have this podcast, I'd have switched in silence. But too many people know I'm a Colts fan. um,
No, I feel it.
Yeah, I'm tired, man. Speaking going college football, right? Fox lands Ohio State, Texas, so that game's going to be at noon. They also
Excuse me.
landed the game as always. We know that Fox is always going to have Ohio State,
Yeah.
Michigan. That game is always going to be at noon. And
Boo.
this is my. I'm just going to remind you all that I don't care about noon games. I prefer them actually because I don't like waiting all day to watch Ohio State play. And I just get so like I think I also would care maybe a little less if I believed anyone's opinions about anything, but so many of the talking heads are stupid that like for like if Ohio State Texas is at 8 o'clock, it's the first week of the season, so nobody's seen anything. And I'm going to have to watch these games, try to enjoy when every commercial break, every halftime show, everything is going to be a whole bunch of people who don't understand football talking about the game. And that, for me, that is just frustrating. Personally, I get the atmosphere and wanting it to be at night, but like I don't want to hear people talking about the game for 12 hours. Right? Like, and not 10 hours, whatever. Like, if I turn on my TV at 10 o'clock, the game starts at 8. What is that? That's 10 hours. Every
Yeah,
chance
just
that they
about.
get
Yeah.
is going to be people picking the game, talking about the game, talking about Arch, who we've never seen play. Well, we've seen him play a little bit, but it's never started. Talking about Julian Sand, who we've never seen play. These clips, this clip, and who's this and who's that. And for me, that's frustrating. I want to turn my TV on at 11:30 because that's typically when I turn it on because I can't do 2 hours of the show. At 11:30 with a Jack and Coke in hand and watch the game. And then when the game is over, win or lose, you can spend the rest of the day talking about it. But personally, I find it frustrating to have to wait all day and just hear people talk about it. Is
Mhm.
that crazy?
A little bit, because I usually don't listen to commercials, or at least those. I'm not paying attention when they're talking about upcoming games, or when it's like halftime and stuff like that. I'm not really listening, unless they're showing highlights of other games that are on that I have not gotten a chance to see. I'm not paying attention to what they're talking about, so it's not a big bother for me to wait all day for a game because I'm
That's
not listening to them. I don't care. I'll mute it, honestly.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I should probably mute more often, but like I like whether I agree or not, I do like hearing what people have to say about Ohio State, especially because it helps inform my opinion and or my takes on the podcast. Because we love to call out rich people for being stupid because they're not paying us hella money for our
Right.
podcast, and our
Sure.
podcast is better. So like I listen to that right for like things like that, and it's like I don't take it to heart because I think most of them are stupid. But it's just frustrating. I just want to turn on the games. I just noon. Just give me noon. I will say, like, if I'm going to a game, right, the 3:30 slot is my preferred. But like, if I'm
Mhm.
just gonna be sitting at home watching a game on TV, give me Ohio State Texas at noon. Give me a good game at 3:30, and then give me another banger at 8. And that's a full day of TV, and I didn't have to wait all day to watch Ohio State play.
I see with me too, because it's like I don't mind hearing the takes, but I'm only going to hear it once, and then after that, especially if I have like say at noon it's a Big Ten game, that's what I'm gonna have on. You get the one time to talk about all the games coming up today, and then I'm never listening to you again. So because I know
Yeah,
you're going to pretty much say the same thing
true. But you also get
anyway.
it in like the broadcast booth, right? Like, like they're talking about it's like a minor annoyance, but
Mm.
like that's why me personally I don't mind it. Like if the game's at 8, I'm gonna watch it. It doesn't matter when the game is. If it's at noon, if it's at 3:30, if it's at 8, I'm gonna watch it. Which is also
I'll
why
even
it's,
I'll even take it at 3:30 because you kind of get into it being at night towards the end of the game.
yeah.
Especially, not for that game, because if that's the start of the season, it's what, August, September. It's not
Yeah,
getting
it's still
dark.
no, it's
Yeah,
not. It's
it's
not.
not getting dark. So
No,
never
you gotta wait
mind.
till November for that. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Fox landed both of those games. A couple other game announcements. Cincinnati, Nebraska will be August 28th at 9 p.m. at Arrowhead. I think, if I remember
Oh,
correctly, that is
sleepy.
that is a Thursday game leading into the first week of the
Oh,
season. If you all remember, They start
I
playing
got work in the
games.
morning, y'all. Football don't
Yeah.
care. They don't
No,
care.
they started playing games on Thursday and Friday going into Labor Day weekend because it's the only time that they can do it because the NFL hasn't started yet. So,
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Nebraska. I hope that's a good game because it's going to be one of the only games on TV. 9 p.m. Arrowhead Stadium, and guess what? I just thought of this. Patrick Mahomes Jr. is really going is really going to get he's really going to get to role play as his man. He's going to be in the stadium.
Oh,
He really going to
we
get
might
to do the
see
whole routine.
we might see a disaster performance. Or it's gonna be amazing. I don't
is
know.
his man's going to be in the building? He's going to get to meet
Might
him in
be to
person.
start the season. He might be
He going to get to
because
meet
I
him in
mean it's in
person.
Arrowhead. They live there. This football season's about to
Yeah.
start. He might just be there just to watch some football.
All right, let me ask you another question.
He might even go there for the meme itself. So
yeah, let me ask you another question.
hmm.
Patrick Mahomes just cut his hair. Is he cutting his hair? Or is he still rocking the mohawk? Just what's the guess? What's the guess? Is his hair gonna be is his hair gonna be cut to start the season, or is he rocking,
I'll
or is
say it
he
like
gonna do the
this. I'll
OG
say it
role
like this. I'll
playing?
tell you this much. I will respect him so much more if he does cut his hair. Stick to the bit. Stick to the bit. Stick to it.
This
Staying
is a
10
much
toes down.
yeah this is a much later conversation. Like when we we'll really get into that when we start previewing, but he's going into his sophomore year. He needs to let that go. But it literally just hit me,
Nah, nah,
bro.
nah, nah, nah,
He's
nah, nah, nah,
going.
nah, nah, nah. Staying 10
He's
toes
gonna get to
down.
play
Stick to
in
the bit.
Arrowhead Stadium. You
Stick
know
to
he's geek. He's
stick
about
to
to go
the
to
bit.
sleep.
I
You
can't
know,
wait. I can't wait till we see that first interview
yes.
going into the seat and his hair's cut. I'm
Oh God, that's gonna be so funny, bro. That's gonna be so funny. Yeah, he's gonna do the whole routine. He's gonna do the
oh
whole
yeah, oh
routine.
yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
That's
gonna
gonna
be
be
at
funny.
Arrowhead Stadium. He's gonna be studying film. He's gonna be like, all right, so Patrick does this at the
That's gonna
15
be
yard line. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
that would be that's what like I would respect it more if he's understood and it was like, you know what, I'm gonna lean fully into this. I'm gonna give y'all something to laugh about. I respect somebody who can laugh at themselves then and then
I
be a
don't even.
part of the joke.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if he's laughing at himself, but that's crazy. Other piece of news: Brett Bielema signed a 6-year contract. First of all, well deserved. People are sleeping on Illinois. I'm not sleeping on them. Spoiler for when we get to later on. Partially in this show, but especially, time doesn't exist, so July will be here soon enough, and we'll start previewing the season.
True,
Not
very
too
true.
long, but I think my favorite thing about this is the contract, and we don't try to pocket watch, but the contract is like $7.7 million, and I love that because Illinois is like, yes, you have brought us to a place that we haven't been in a while, right? You're gonna end up, if you stay here, you're gonna end up the best coach we've ever had. Maybe we get a statue, right? You're putting us in place to potentially go to the playoffs. So you're doing all of these good things,
Mm-hmm.
but we're still Illinois. We can't pay you $10 million.
Yeah,
And
not at all.
also, you didn't win a national championship. Like, you're good, but you didn't win a national championship. I'm not going to pay you like Nick Saban was being paid. I'm not going to pay you like Ryan Day is being paid. I'm not going to pay you like Kirby Smart's being paid. There are so many coaches who are getting these $10 to $12 million contracts who haven't won anything. And I like that
I was about to
Illinois
say, yeah, I
and
was
Brett
like, there's
Bielema
been a
was
few.
like reasonable, right? They're like $7 million. First of all, $7 million is not reasonable, but they like he really could have been like, we just won 10 games last year for the first time ever. I want 10. And I just think like I wish that more people understood their value.
I think he wants to really help change this program around.
And if they
Uh,
could afford 10, I'd be like, yeah, give me that 7 and then put the difference into the program.
mm-hmm,
Like if you
mm-hmm.
got, because they need it more than of course than some of the other ones. So I just
But yeah,
appreciated that they didn't go like nuts and start paying $12 million or something like that because he had one 10 game season. Even though I am excited for what they're about to do because I think they're going to be good.
yeah, I think it's gonna be good too.
And
I've always been excited for Illinois. You know,
yeah,
I've always been one of the high up on them. We both have, but like as
facts.
soon as they hired Brett, I was like, oh, they're gonna be. I think they're going to be what who was it? Indiana could be.
Yeah.
They could be Indiana this season or next season, really. So
And honestly, the thing is, like, long term, right? We don't know exactly what this is going to look like with the playoffs and things, like, but he's just going to turn them into Wisconsin, like what he was when they were there, which is always the second or third. Somewhere, well, there's more teams in the Big Ten, so you have to go down a little bit. It won't be second or third, but let's just say a top five Big Ten team, a team that any given year, when they're having a good year, they're gonna, and that in his case, it was win the conference and go to the conference championship game. So in this case, it's going to be get that fourth Big Ten spot in the playoffs, right? Maybe when you go up against your Ohio States, your Oregons, if they're having that year, right? In the playoffs, if you played like a Georgia or something, you may not win, but that 8 to, like, where the floor is like 8 wins, like they're gonna win 7 to 8 games every year, and then depending on bringing players back, the schedule, they can hit that 10-11 win mark in the
yeah,
postseason sort of thing. And I think this is the year. I mean, with the bowl game last year, they won 10. They brought most of the team back. So, yeah,
they
I
can make the
think.
playoffs this year. They really
And then
can.
he's recruiting good too. So it feels more sustainable. So,
Yeah, I'm excited to watch Illinois for the next 6 years.
yeah, for sure. And then the last piece of news, which I don't want to get stuck on because we could do a whole episode on this.
Very true.
They're they're now, and maybe we will do a whole episode on it when there's a little bit more information. But the rumor is now that they're settling on a 16 team playoff. They don't have any idea about the format because the Big Ten and SEC are still looking for 4 automatic bids. And according to the article, everybody hates that. Now you have the ACC saying that they deserve 3. Like if you're getting 4, they deserve 3 bids, which then means the Big 12 would want 3 bids, which puts you back into the world where you only have one at-large spot, which was the issue that some people had with the 14-team playoff. Also with the auto bids is you only getting one at-large spots. So
Yeah,
what I guess they were hoping for is that they go to 16, the Big 10 and the SEC get 4 each, the Big 12 and ACC get 2 each. There's one for the G5, G6, and then there is 3 at-large spots. One which is basically guaranteed to go to Notre Dame if they're having a good year, and then 2 that can be a third Big 10, Big 12, ACC, or fifth SEC or Big 10 team. The problem is they have to figure this out eventually. It doesn't seem like they're getting any closer to it. It seems like they're
not with those
just,
two greedy conferences.
yeah, greedy. I mean, greedy is the right word. At this point, it's just like,
Greedy.
bro, just seed it straight up, 1 through 16. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Thank
Like, we don't
you.
need to. We don't
At
need.
this
We
point,
don't
why are
need
we
this.
doing this?
Especially because it's just like one of the points, and like it's funny because a couple of months ago, we were sort of on board with the auto bids because they were talking about doing some cool things. But now they keep forcing it. I feel like me and you, our opinion on it is changing, especially because they're like, in any given year, the Big Ten and SEC are probably going to have 4 teams anyway. So
Yeah,
you should just give us 4. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to have 4 anyway, why do you need the guarantee?
yeah. Like just
Just play.
prove that. Yeah, prove it. Prove the 4. I especially you know what's really changing our mind that because we were okay with it, but we were very iffy. It's the fact that there were SEC teams that we really can agree didn't deserve to be in the playoffs, and
Right.
they're crying for 4 because so we're in my eyes we're going to see one of those teams in the
Yeah.
playoffs if
Yeah.
they continue down this road with the SEC. We're going to see a team that I don't think deserves to be there. A lot of people are going to cry that they should because it's the SEC, and then we see them get routed, and you're like,
Right. And especially because, like, so for
because
example,
my thing
if
is,
we
is like
had,
you're okay with that happening with an SEC team, but was like kept saying Indiana didn't deserve to be there. What's the difference?
please tell me, you took like India, like Tennessee got smacked, but nobody had
Mm-hmm.
that energy for Tennessee getting smacked. And
Right.
when Indiana got smacked, so it's just like, yeah, no, I agree. I think the Big Ten is being super greedy, really for
Both of
no
them.
reason.
Both
It's
of
just
them.
like on any given year. Well, yeah, but this is a Big Ten show. SEC is always greedy, but the
Yeah,
Big
but
Ten specifically, especially because it's just like think about it, on any given year. Like, name a year you're not going to get four. Because think about it. On any given year, you're guaranteed three because some combination of Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, and Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Three of those four are going to be good. One of them may have a down year, and then the other one's going to be good. So you have three of those four anyways, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have the chance that, let's say in this case, because technically today Michigan's the worst of them, Michigan rises back up, you're at four, or you get an Indiana, or you get an Illinois, or you get an Iowa, so that's a four. And then some
Mm-hmm.
years, if you go to 16, which feels like a lot, some years you're going to get five because all four of those, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, and Penn State, are going to be good. And then you're going to have a 9 or 10 win Illinois or Indiana or something, which can happen with the glut of the conference with so many teams. There's going to be a team that doesn't play those top that's going to get there, and they're going to sneak in at that 15, 16 seed. So it's just like, at this point, just play. Yeah. I don't
Just
know.
play it out. But also, they see 1 through 16 terribly, so
Right.
it's almost a lose-lose situation here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that. But we'll see. They still, and the crazy thing is they still haven't made a decision about this year either, because they did want to do the straight seeding this year because they weren't happy with how the seeds went last year. And this is the last year of the 12-team playoff, but there hasn't been a deal made on that either. So, and they're just sort of talking at each other, and
They
everyone's
ain't gonna
asking
get
for
nothing
more.
done.
But that's the thing, they have to.
They have to, but we all know how that works.
We'll
We know
see.
how this organization is.
Yeah, for sure. So we are in a holding pattern. Uh, you could say that we're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, there's a
So
accident.
yeah,
There's a bad accident, and everybody being nosy.
we'll see what happens. Yeah. So moving on to our road trip segment. Um, Couple things to talk about. Couple things to talk about. One being the top 10 quarterbacks in the Big Ten. And then we want to look at the Big Ten win totals, which finally dropped, as it's just like a slight nod to the fact that football season's almost here. Obviously it's in the thing. Did you see this post spring Big Ten quarterback ranking initially? Like, did you see it at all, or is this your first time?
This would be my first time. I did not see it.
This is one of the worst rankings I've ever seen in my entire life.
Uh
And
oh.
like, it's hard, right? Because like
Uh-oh.
you have new quarterbacks and various things, but like so much of this makes no
Oh,
sense.
I did see this.
Like so much of this makes no sense. So, who is this? CBS. Someone at CBS dropped his post spring Big Ten rankings. He only did a top 10 as 18 teams. He didn't want to rank all of them. So we'll read down, and then we'll give our thoughts. Number one, Drew Allar. Number two, Luke Altmaier. Number three, for those of you who don't know, number one, Drew Allar, Penn State. Number two, Luke Altmaier, Illinois. Number three, Julian Sayin, Ohio State. Number four, Dante Moore, Oregon. Number five, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana. Number six, Dylan Raiola, Nebraska. Number seven, Nico Iamaleava, UCLA. Number eight, Bryce Underwood, Michigan. Number nine, Jaden Maeva, USC. And number 10, Damon Williams Jr. from Washington. So first of all, I would just like to say, before we fry this, I understand that this is hard because you haven't seen most of these guys play and you just have to pick. And some of it you're picking off of the offense, right? Like Ryan Day's quarterback is always going to be high, right? Because you're going to say he's highly recruited and it's Ohio State, right? Some of it you're going to buy off the hype and other things, but I think my biggest issue with this is there are quarterbacks that you've seen play who are ranked poorly. Like, first of all, I don't care what anyone says. Drew Allar is not the best quarterback in the Big Ten. He's not. You
He's
can't
the
give me
most
that.
tenured. He's the most tenured.
Yeah, he's the most tenured, but that's why he's still here. Because if he was
This,
good,
this
he
is,
went to the NFL draft last year.
oh, I thought he was. I thought he was a junior this year.
No, this is his senior year.
Mm. Some people come back because they want to try to win a national championship, and they definitely have a chance.
He came back because and they haven't exactly said it, but they've hinted at it on like interviews and stuff. They came back because his NFL feedback wasn't good. And I'm not saying he doesn't.
Two things can be true.
Right. Two things can be. I'm not saying he doesn't also want to win a championship. But my thing, and listen, but he's just. Is he top 3? Most likely. He's absolutely for sure top 5. Is he top 3? Probably. Am I, whatever. But he's not the best quarterback in the Big Ten. And me personally, there are multiple people on this list that I would take above him. We literally watched him essentially lose Penn State the game. And it's not entirely his fault. Their wide receivers were also horrible. Like, I'm not putting all of this on his shoulders, but for me personally, because we say this all the time, if you're going to say someone shouldn't be somewhere, you have to say who you think is better than them. I would take Luke Altmaier over Drew Allar. I think that he's better. They're both 2-year starters. I think Penn State with Luke makes a national championship game last year, and I don't think that Illinois wins 10 games if Drew Allar's their quarterback last year. I would also take Fernando Mendoza, who I understand that a lot of people don't know who that is because they're not watching Cal football, but he's legit, and he's already, if you believe any of the draft guys, there's only 2 or 3 that I listen to that I think are any good, but he's already being mentioned as a first round pick next year, off of his tape and some of his NFL qualities. So those 2, I would probably put Luke 1, Fernando Mendoza 2, and then I'd have Drew Allar 3 because he has been there, and I'm not. It's just not right to put Julian Sain or any of the other players over him when you haven't seen him play.
Yeah.
Dante Moore, we have seen play. He was not good. I'm not sure he should be on the top 10 list. He definitely shouldn't be 4. We've watched him play.
I don't think he should be 4.
That's crazy. Dylan Raiola, 6. Cool-ish, but not when you have Dante Moore over him.
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola should probably be 5, right? And again, if you look at where this ends at the end of the season, maybe it ends closer to this. I doubt it. I don't think Drew Allar is going to be the best quarterback in the Big Ten, even at the end of the season. I will say that. He's not going to win the best quarterback of the award, year of the award in the Big Ten, and he's not going to be a Heisman finalist. I will say that with my full chest. Nico Iamaleava, 7. I don't know. A lot of people don't like him. I think he's solid. He also really earned my respect in that Ohio State game because he was their only offense, and he was getting hit. I think they had to replace his helmet twice, and he was still lowering that shoulder.
Yeah,
so
he was.
I would probably have him a little higher. Again, 100% over Dante Moore. At this point, having Bryce Underwood here as a freshman is crazy. He hasn't played, and you could say the same thing about Julian Sain. Yes, but the difference is Julian Sain at least has been in the offense for a year. He's had 2 spring trainings. So if you want to say he's going to be good, whatever, but I don't know where I'd put Julian Sain on this list. Even as an Ohio State fan, I don't know where I'd put him on this list. I just don't know that I'd put Bryce on there at all. Jaden Maeva, USC, he's probably right. Maybe not. Right? Because he's at least played for a little bit. You could argue just on the fact that he's played, he could be higher than Julian Sain or Dante Moore or whatever. And Damon Williams Jr. is solid at Washington. But I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like there was no thought put into this list. I can tell you, I can look at this list and I can tell you exactly how he ranked all of them. Drew Allar because he knew that name. Luke Altmaier because everyone's high on Illinois, and he also knew that name. He said Ohio State has to be good. We'll put him in there. He likes Oregon and Oregon's roster. Doesn't know shit about Dante Moore, but he likes Dan Lanning. And he said, well, he put Bo Nix in the league, Dante Moore at 4. Fernando Mendoza because this is his 4th year. And he said, well, he's probably good. Dylan Raiola because he's seen him play. Nico because he's seen him play. Bryce because he was the number 1 recruit. And then he said, fuck. Lincoln Riley. Put him at 9. And then
Lincoln Riley.
He had to do something at 10. And Damon, like the other quarterbacks are probably worse. And tell me that's not I feel
That
like that's his thought process.
that sounds kind of that probably is right. That probably
It's
is
just
how it
like
was done. It's like, fuck. Y'all said 10?
It's like, who else is a returning starter? He's all right. So Maryland wants their quarterback. Michigan's, especially because, like, first of all, hear me out. If you were doing a top 10 list, would you put Michigan State's quarterback on it? Because he threw a lot of interceptions, but it was his first year starting, so he's going into his second year starting. That kid can throw the ball. He may be a little stupid, but you could argue again. You could argue it was his first year. It was his first year. If you're doing a top 10 for next year, you personally you putting Michigan State's quarterback on there because I like him.
He can play. He can play. Probably. Because I mean, if you're gonna do it with, I mean, again, if you're gonna put Dante Moore on there, and there's just because
But,
again, I think Dylan Raiola is kind of stupid. So
yeah, but
he
again,
made
first
some
it's
he
like,
made
yeah,
some passes where you're like,
what?
what are you? Why stop trying to be him?
Literally, please. But then he would make some throws, and you're like, yeah, you're one of three players in college who can do
Yeah, then it's like, oh wow, what the hell are you?
I don't. But yeah, it's just
You're
like, but
almost Russell Westbrook.
I'm. Oh my gosh! But I'm not sure if this dude Bud Crawford. I'm not sure if he even knows Aiden Childs' name. He looked at the right. He said Michigan State can't have a good quarterback. Knocked him off the list. Like I did. I bet you. I would bet there's a
Yeah,
chance he doesn't even know his name.
yeah, because I'm trying to even think of other who else. Again, because the Bryce Underwood thing is just crazy. We really just don't know. We really
You
don't
don't know
know
anything
just
about him,
yeah.
and
And
I'm
you really
sorry.
just did it because you're like they're probably gonna. Ohio State always has a pretty much produces a solid quarterback regardless.
You
So
can't
that's
say
why.
that about Michigan.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but like I know why he's on the list, but having him three is just
Yes. Well, you said Bryce Underwood. So you
yeah.
talking
No, I'm
about
saying I was talking about both. I'm doing
okay,
both
okay.
because like to have Underwood on there is kind of crazy because we don't know anything. And then I was like, then secondly, to have Julian saying either on or that high, and again we don't know nothing. You're basically going Ohio State usually has a good quarterback because they don't it's Ohio State, so it's probably going to produce a good quarterback. And then it's like, well, Michigan, we're going to have Michigan here. They're going to run the ball, and it's going to make it look like he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, because again, I wouldn't put Julian Say in three, and I'm an Ohio State
No,
fan. It's just
no. I mean, I would switch 5 and 6 with 3 and 4,
yeah,
and
that
then
would be
still
fine with me.
probably move those two down.
And then I'm getting rid of Dante Moore, and I'm putting Aiden Childs on the list.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
of all, Aiden Childs is better than Jaden Mayoiva. Like I watched him play, and they both throw a lot of interceptions. Jaden
yeah,
Mayoiva threw he threw two pick
yeah,
sixes in the same game.
yeah,
like
yeah. He did. Yeah, he did.
so like if he can make the list, I'm telling you, this dude doesn't know Aiden Childs' name. He said there's no way Michigan State has a good quarterback. He's like Michigan State doesn't have a good quarterback. He said Maryland
And yeah, they
doesn't have a
really
good
said
quarterback. He
he
said
said Lincoln Riley, quarterback risk award, and he's like, has he
yep.
though?
Put him
Like,
on there. Put him
like,
on there. And then he tried to act smart by being like, but yeah, but like Lincoln Riley's stock has fallen a little bit, so I'm putting him at 9. Like, yeah, come on, bro, please.
nah,
So
you know
this
what? You want to know what it was? He forgot that Lincoln Riley it was there and was like, oh yeah,
so he knocked
9.
someone down. Yeah, yeah. I'll put him on the list.
I've already gotten
Uh
7. We'll just do 9 because you.
and Dante, I hate to say this, but I have to be the one to say it. Iowa's quarterback should probably be on this list for the first
Why?
time ever. But if you
I
remember,
guess oh yeah, they
Iowa got
actually had a
that
pretty good passing game.
yeah, but and then they got that recruit who over like 2 or 3 seasons has accounted for over 5,000 yards. He has like 2,000 rushing yards. I think it was like I think it was like 5,000 passing yards and 2,000 rushing yards in like 3 seasons or something. Like the dude was like legit. And yes, you could argue that it was at a lower level, but that's why you don't put him 5. you put him 9 or 10 because of the body of work that he's done, and then you try to say like, how does that transfer to the Big Ten? And that dude has won like 3 national championships. Let me pull up.
It's gonna be funny. Yes.
But this is, and I get it. It sounds crazy, but if you know ball, you would know that dude should probably be on that list.
Yeah, it's just the list is a bit, that safe list that you didn't really want to put real effort into.
Basically, now I'm gonna pull it up because I remember reading his stats and I was like, "What the hell? Who is this guy?"
And that's what that is. That's really what that is. Ready for that.
Yeah. So this dude this is his 5th year, right? This is 5th year. He had his first year. It doesn't look like he was a full-time starter. His first year, 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Second year, 2,900 yards, 26 touchdowns, 5
He
interceptions.
had 1,000. He didn't start the season and almost had 2,000 passing yards with 15 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I wonder when he started the season.
I can maybe find that out. His third year, 3,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. His fourth year, 2,700 yards, 23 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He has rushed for 500 yards and 7 touchdowns, 400 yards and 12 touchdowns, 400 yards and 8 touchdowns, 380 yards and 10 touchdowns. This dude is accounting for 35 to 40 touchdowns a year.
Yeah.
And he has 2 or 3 national championships. So it's just like, and he's 6'3", 230. Like, I'm not saying he should be top 5. I don't know. And I get the Iowa of it all, but he's not better than Bryce Underwood. He's not better than Jaden Maeva. He's not better than Damon Williams Jr. He's not better than Dante Moore.
You're going to keep going to that Dante Moore.
He's not better at this point. He's not better than Julian Sane.
Right.
Like, it's just, hey,
he's definitely produced to have to be on that list. If Julian Sane and Bryce Underwood can do absolutely nothing and be on the list
and be top 5. They're not even on the list. They're top 5.
Nah. Bryce isn't top 5, but Julian Sane is top 3.
Oh, I thought you were saying Dante Moore.
No.
Yeah, but like, Julian
Dante Moore has played, so
yeah, barely. He was awful. He was so bad. But, it's fine. So yeah, they just be doing stuff on these graphics, and here we are doing a podcast for free. And honestly, it's not even free no more. We're paying money to do this.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to segment. The Big Ten over-unders dropped for the season via Circa Sports, which is one of the sports betting books or whatever they're called. Released their over-unders for the Big Ten. We love to do over-unders, but again, this is not betting advice. Don't bet off me. I don't bet off myself. So don't take what I said and put no money on it and lose your house and your wife, because I'm not doing that. You can do whatever you want to, but this is just for fun. This is just for play. Don't bet nothing off what I said.
What? I don't know. I'm just looking at that 1, 2, 3, 4, 15 there. They really think Buddy is that good. Okay. We'll see.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Michigan.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, let's start.
He's 3.5 games of a difference.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is bad. All right, so this is bad. Let's do it. Purdue 3 over under push. I think push is the right verbiage for betting.
I don't know their schedule, so I'm gonna go with push.
So all right, I think 3 games is about right for them. Northwestern 4.
They might get 5. They might sneak in 5.
I think I'm going under. I think they get 3 as well. And again, like Dante said, we don't know the schedule, so this is just
Yeah.
where for us, there's no point in looking at the schedule to do this. I think because
I could just tell by the teams. You don't
right,
need to
and the
really.
fact that we do a very thorough preview later on,
Yeah.
like in my opinion, one of the more thorough previews you find. So um, we'll do that later. We're just doing this off of vibes. Maryland 4.5.
Under by the half.
I agree. I under by the half. Wisconsin 5.5.
Push. Maybe over. Maybe 6, but probably not.
You can't push a half. You gotta go over under.
Oh, you're right. Under.
So you got them at 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go over.
Okay.
I think they're gonna go to a bowl game. I think they get to 6.
Okay.
UCLA 5.5.
Over.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
go.
over. I
I'm over.
think I think Nico gets them to 6 at
Mm-hmm.
least. I think Nico gets them to 6.
Yeah.
Rutgers 5.5.
Under.
Hmm. Dude, I'm also gonna go over. Oh, but they lost that running back. Mm, still gonna go over. I just feel like for Rutgers has been hovering at 7, 8 games for a couple of years,
That's
and I
true.
can't,
That is
off
true.
the top of my mind, I can't think of something that happened so drastically where they would be back at 4 or 5 games. So and shout out
That
to
is
Greg
true.
Schiano, but in my
Yeah.
head, like Rutgers has reached a point where like I just sort of expect 6. I don't really expect more, but I sort of expect. I think they get to 6 somehow.
I can understand that.
Michigan State 5.5. This one's hard for me, especially after just standing on the table for Aiden Childs.
I'm gonna go with over. They might steal a few games.
Yeah, I got over, and they're beating Michigan this year.
Oh.
Yeah, putting it on the table, making it a little
Okay.
spicy. I got
Okay.
Michigan. Again, it may only be 6, but I got over 5.5, and they're beating Michigan this year.
Mm.
Um, our near and dear to our hearts,
Mm.
Minnesota 6.5.
Under. I'm going under. I don't believe. I love them. I don't believe in them anymore. I
Yeah,
can see them. I'll be like, they're gonna make a bowl game, and then they don't. And you know what happens to them too? They get injured.
yeah.
They get injuries at the worst positions. So
I wish I could remember their off season right now, and I can't. So
I
I'm
can't
also
either.
gonna go under. Yeah, under. Unfortunately, Minnesota, you missed your window. You missed
Yeah,
your window.
yeah, you did.
USC 7.5.
Man, under. You are getting 7 at the
I don't know if they're
most.
getting 7. I don't remember their schedule off the
At
top
the
of my head, but
most.
I feel like it's pretty hard again. I don't think they're getting 7. So under. USC is definitely under. This is a big one for Matt Rule and his boys. 7.5 over under.
They are going under, getting 7. Still
I
making a bowl game.
Yeah, I think that they finally get to November and they're
Mm.
confident or have already reached the bowl game, but
Yeah.
like they're not going to need to win the 6th game in the last year. But I don't think that they go 8 games this year.
It starts off with they're gonna beat Cincinnati. Just cause
Yeah,
just
I mean he's
cause
he's at home.
yeah, he's at
Yes,
home.
is Taylor Swift going to be there? She likes to go to cheap home games.
Oh
uh,
fuck.
Iowa 7.5.
Over.
Yeah, this over under is bad. What does Vegas know that we don't?
I
Why?
was at 8 or 9 wins every fucking season now.
Yeah, well,
I'm
and they have a
chalking it up.
quarter
That's
this year.
Yeah, I'm chalking it up. That's who you are, Iowa. My fault. I was familiar with your game and I kept ignoring it.
Yeah, and like I hate to do it, but they do have a wide receiver.
Yeah.
You remember Vander Z or whatever? That white boy
Mm.
was balling. He was nice. Like I mean, he's not
And then I
like
think they got it. Didn't they get a transfer too? We
I
don't
couldn't
know.
tell you. I don't pay any attention to what I was doing, except the quarterback, because that was impressive. I said, "Oh, you got a nice." Yeah, that was all right. Illinois 7.5. Who set that number?
I'm going over.
I would have set Illinois at
8.5.
Yeah, 8.5 for sure. Definitely over. I'm high. We've already said it. High on Illinois. Washington 7.5.
I'm gonna go. They were really, really competitive last season. They won 7 games last year, right?
Yeah. They felt like an old school Big Ten. For them, this one just very much. This one just very much just depends on the schedule.
I'm gonna go over,
and I don't know the schedule.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna go over. I 8 wins.
I'm not ready to do 8. I may get there. I have to see the schedule. I'm gonna. Oh, am I gonna go? Am I gonna do 7? Yeah, I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna do 7.
All right.
I have a feeling, and I don't know this for sure, but I have a feeling they're gonna play 2 or 3 of Illinois, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon.
True, probably.
And then there's gonna be the toss-up games if they play like USC again or something. Oh no, Oregon's a rival. I think they're gonna play Oregon every year. So of course they're gonna have. Yeah, I'm gonna do 7.
But they played Oregon. They played Oregon tough last year, and Oregon's a worse team now. So
yeah. Michigan 8.5 under. Stop playing with me.
6 at the most. What are we doing here? They won 6 games because they made the bowl game. I forgot. So they won 7 games last year.
They won 7 with 3 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have 3 first-round picks.
Those 3 first-round picks didn't play the full season.
The 2 of them did.
The full season?
The corner didn't.
The corner did not.
One played the full season, and the other one I think only missed a couple of games. And the corner only played like 3 games.
Yeah. So
but whether they played or not, they don't even have first round picks in the locker room. It's still worse.
Yeah, at 6, I'm going 6. You make a bowl game because you somehow just sneak these wins. Because again, you
and didn't they lose both running backs too?
I think so. You beat Ohio State last year. You definitely wasn't supposed to do that. Like you definitely were not supposed to do that. So like,
no.
Yeah.
Under 8.5. That's insane. Okay, this is a fun one. Indiana, 8.5.
Under. You're getting 8.
That was okay. Yeah, that was a confident under.
7-8 this year. You're not getting 10 again.
Yeah. So Indiana is tough for me because I do like Mendoza. I think he's a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember their roster right now to know who they did. But like, yeah, I think 8. So that would be under.
I'm thinking 8.
Penn State 10.
I think they get 11 over.
I think Penn State plays Ohio State and Oregon.
They beat
Penn State. Penn State basically has Ohio State's schedule last year, where Ohio State had to play the other.
I'm telling you, listen. They're beating Oregon. They gave them a run for their money in the Big Ten game.
Yeah,
and then Oregon just got shellacked, and they're losing. They're losing players, and it's this. They're beating Oregon 11.
Yeah. All right. Oregon 10.5
under.
Agreed. Okay. I don't know where the. Okay, I see. I'm glad you said 9. Because I'm gonna say I don't know where this is coming from for me, but I just feel Oregon's like it's gonna be 9 or 10. It can very easily be 10, but I'm feeling 9 from somewhere. I think they lose a game that they shouldn't. Especially they could lose it early with Dante Moore at quarterback. I mean, they could lose a lot of games.
You keep talking about him, bro. Like that's like it's just gonna keep making me go now.
Maybe he'll hear it and prove me wrong. I don't know.
Maybe you never know. Maybe it's just a perfect fit.
We'll see. And then Ohio State 10.5.
Both teams can win 11 games before going into the championship, right?
No, they can.
Before going into the Big Ten championship, right?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, then okay, over.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have 10.5 as well. I have over. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
over. I have
that's all.
11-1.
Yeah,
They'll lose one of.
Penn State, Oregon, or whatever, whoever they
They
got
don't
to.
play Oregon this year. They play Penn State, Texas, and Illinois. I think those are the tough
It's
games
one
this
of
year.
those. Yeah, one of
Yeah,
those. Or you,
especially with the,
or they could be silly again and lose to Michigan.
if Ohio State went 11-0 and beat Texas and Penn State and Illinois and whoever
They
else is on the
lose to
schedule
Michigan.
and lost to Michigan again, I will lose my mind. I will lose my
I
mind. I
promise
just
you,
want.
I think I would lose my mind too because it would be so unbelievable. It'd be
I
so unbelievable that I would probably lose my mind as well.
I need people to understand something. Um, Ohio State, you like yes, you won a national championship. Thank you, love you forever. You do not have the luxury
Nope.
of not
You
beating Michigan.
you
The
really
national
don't.
championship does not mean you can't beat. You
You
cannot
really
lose
don't.
5 straight to Michigan.
You really can't. Really cannot. You really cannot.
That's Dante. We're almost done. You just pissed me off. Just the thought of them going 11-0 with their schedule
It's
and
like
this
the last
team
game
that's
of the
supposed to be
season.
rebuilding, first year quarterback, you lose
Oh,
14 players to the draft, all of this stuff, and they go 11-1. They beat Texas, they beat Penn State. It's like all you have to do. You're finally like you're having the year that you wanted to have. You're finally gonna get Michigan after 4 years, and then they lose. Oh my god!
they got to fire Ryan Day for real.
They're
Even
not
after
going
winning
to
a
like.
national championship, it's almost you cannot ignore it after that one. You can't ignore
Five
it
in
after
a
that.
row?
5 in a row is crazy. You can't even if you won a national championship. 5 in a row is something like what,
And
bro? What's
Harbaugh's
going
not
on?
there no more.
Yeah, yeah.
You're losing to Sharon Moore? Oh, brother. I would lose my mind.
I really don't know how. Like, I don't know how I could handle that because I'm gonna be like, all right, well now y'all just trolling. Like, y'all just trolling at this point.
He would be like, well, losing to them helped us win a natty. What do you want? Like, we should just lose again. Oh,
Nah, I can't. It ain't gonna work because you don't have a bunch of seniors that came back that went 0-3,
uh-uh.
0-4. Like it's not the same. So like, unless you're building up for a national championship 2 years from now,
Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, 0-2 against Michigan? No, no, no,
that's the only thing
no,
I would. That's the only
no,
thing I can see happening is
no,
that if you go 0-2,
no,
you're setting up for a national championship three
no.
years from now.
No, no, I can't.
You're setting up for 2 or 3 years from now. So it's like everybody came back just to win that game. And which was funny because that happened twice. Everybody came back to win that game and lost it. I don't
I,
know. No, you're right.
I genuinely
You're.
could not handle that.
I think the city would fucking burn. I know I wouldn't go outside.
Look,
That's dangerous. If y'all lose that game, for a fifth time in a row, I am staying my black
if you,
ass in the house.
if you want to see how quickly you can lose goodwill of winning a national championship, let
Lose that
him
game.
lose 5 straight to Michigan.
I am staying in the house. I'm not. Nope. No. And I might stay in the
Okay,
house for 2. I'll stay in the house for like 3 days. They're gonna be like Dante.
yeah,
Like my job's gonna call me. Like where you at? Uh.
not in this city.
No. Y'all lost. Y'all lost 5 in a row. No.
Can't not right
No.
now. You know,
I'm scared.
yeah, you know better.
I'm not going out there. I don't trust you people.
That's crazy.
Y'all hate this team when you're winning. I don't. Mm-mm.
Anyway, all right, let's get out of here. That just Oh, that just made me mad. Just the thought of it made me mad. Okay.
Because it's a
Uh,
possibility at this point. It's a real thing which you got to consider now.
you have to because they lost last year.
Yeah.
So like, not, you like I can't go into this game confident at all ever again at this point.
It's a wow. Wonder what's gonna happen. Because I, I have, even I was like, y'all winning that game. It's gonna be easy.
Literally, just
It's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be y'all. You know what? You know what's so awful about that too? It's y'all fault we lost to Michigan in that stupid bowl game because Michigan shouldn't have been here. Y'all
well,
can't do shit right.
what you want me to do? what you want? What you want me to do? Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, let's get out of here. We'll get to our pit stops. Our pit
The
stops are a
Minecraft
chance
one.
for us
She talking
to.
about the Indianapolis Colts schedule video. How did you even see that
We
over in the UK? How did you see that? I didn't even see it when it first was posted.
I haven't seen it.
I oh, it got sent to me.
Well, so okay, I haven't seen the full video. I did see that clip
Oh, okay,
of
okay.
like what people were mad about, but I haven't seen the full.
Reposted it.
Yeah. Um. But okay, cool,
Yeah, I
whatever.
don't have a pit stop. I've been trying to think of one this whole time. I ain't got one. So
Yeah.
it's you.
All right, yeah, we'll get out of here with our pit stops. Our pit stops is a chance for us to talk about something else. As you know, when you're on a road trip, you have to take a break, you have to use the bathroom, you have to get gas, you have to get food. This is our chance to do that and talk about something non Big Ten football related. My pit stop this year
Oh, my
is
Chargers. Yeah.
my pit stop this year is about the WNBA finally having Funko Pops. I have, and I will stand on this forever. I have turned into an accidental collector of Funko Pops. It was not intentional. I do not buy them a lot, but I have to get like
Y'all
they
see my
have.
collection.
Yeah, like I
Y'all
just
see my collection. There's some in my PC. Hold up.
yeah,
Hang
I
on.
stumbled. Yeah, that's crazy. I stumbled into it, and here I am. But I thought it was cool, especially for them to drop it. Um, for them to drop it at the start of the WNBA season, which just started
Mhm.
yesterday. Yesterday was the first day. It would be games playing all. Like, it's not yesterday because this is being dropped on Thursday. That started last week.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're dropping Funko Pops. They dropped 6 of them. There's a Caitlin Clark Funko Pop. There's an
makes
Angel
sense.
Reese Funko Pop. I don't.
Makes sense.
Brianna Stewart,
Okay.
Asia Wilson,
Yep.
Lauren Jackson.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is.
I forgot who she
Should I know
plays
who
for.
that is?
She's good. She's actually really good. I want to. Who does she play for? Who does she play for? I want to say
It looks like
Seattle.
the Valkyrie. No, Seattle. Yeah, Seattle. I think that's
Okay.
Seattle.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Oh,
what I
yeah,
thought.
it is Seattle. And
Okay.
then they dropped a Doppler, which is Seattle's mascot.
Mm-hmm.
My
Okay. That's what I
only
thought.
complaint is if you're gonna do a mascot, it probably should have been Ellie from the Liberty. I've
Yeah,
never even
yeah,
seen
because
Seattle
everybody knows
mascot.
Ellie. Everybody knows Ellie. So I
Yeah,
don't
like
understand why they did. They what did I?
no,
How many times I got to keep saying this? The WNBA is terrible as an organization at marketing and running it. It's awful.
yeah. My wife doesn't
That
even
was a
like
layup.
basketball. Yeah, my wife doesn't even like basketball. And she's like, yeah, I'll go to Liberty games for Ellie.
That was a layup. I would
So
have got an Ellie.
yeah, I would have got one for sure.
I would
But
have
yeah,
got one
so
layup.
uh,
It's a
they come
dumb.
out end of June. This is the pre-order, and shockingly, they're only $12. So I will be getting 2 of them. I'm gonna get Angel Reese and Asa Wilson. I thought about getting Brianna Stewart just off the fact that I live in New York,
Yeah,
and I may ultimately get that one. But
I'm
I
gonna get
really just want
Brianna
the
in
Angel.
Asia. I'm gonna get Brianna in Asia.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I actually like Brianna's game, and Asia.
yeah. She's a hooper. I might do it just to have some New York flavor in my office. And they did win the chip, so I might stand on
True.
that one.
Very true.
But yeah, so
And see, that's even dumber. They just won the chip and you still didn't do Ellie?
yeah,
Stupid. Stupid organization. Oh my god.
yeah,
You know what?
I don't
But
know.
almost all I think the only organization in America that's not run stupid right now is the MLB. They're
Like you
they're
said,
turning their MLB because they're doing the opposite. Because did you see the opening day video that they dropped with TV off?
I don't know how I missed that.
Oh brother, that video was beautiful, perfect,
Was it? Okay,
perfect. I'm like,
I
okay,
might have to.
they marketed because the beat is just doom doom doom, nothing but home runs. They start
Okay,
off like
yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm gonna have to
You're
find
gonna have
that
to
one.
find it, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to find that one. But that's it. That's the show. We're back finally. Hopefully,
Matter of fact, I might be able to
with
find it
life
for
and
you.
birthdays and movings and all that stuff out of the way, we should be back on our
Yeah.
regular scheduled programming. We'll get through June. And then when July comes, baby, that's when our season starts. That's when
Yep.
our previews start. Again, in my opinion, I'll stand 10 toes. We do the best previews in the game. We do the most in-depth previews in the game, one conference, and it takes us 4 shows to do it. We talk about every single team, even the team that nobody wants to talk about.
Right.
Um, so we're almost there. We're a couple months away from the season really getting started. But as always, thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time.